G'day, it's Peter Brewer, and I've been floating around the real estate profession in Queensland for around 40 years. I meet some amazing people in my journey, and I've recently caught up again, renewed a friendship with Jacob Davidson, who has launched his business, OBLIQ, specialising in making marketing simple for real estate professionals. I caught up with Jake, just to have a bit of a chat about what he's doing and how he can help you. I hope you enjoyed the chat. Jacob Davidson, congratulations on the launch of OBLIQ. How exciting.
Thanks, Peter. I really appreciate it. Yeah, it's exciting times for us.
So, Jake, for people that don't know you, you've become legendary in the Queensland real estate space in terms of marketing. Always behind the scenes, never had a public profile, but you've been the creative behind so many really successful real estate brands, which has now led you to your own business. Tell us a bit about OBLIQ and what you're going to do.
OBLIQ is certainly a full service agency, so we will look after everything from all your social media ads, right through to website, all your property marketing, that full kind of service of your property marketing as well. So instead of going to one vendor for your copywriting, one vendor for photography, one vendor for videography, we can come to us and we can kind of deliver that full property marketing.
So I know it's a 1960s thing, it's a one-stop shop, but it's a one-stop shop. And if I look at that, I see that such a time saver for real estate professionals in Queensland. One of the things that really interests me, Jacob, is real estate business owners or real estate people are generally okay at marketing properties. But if we're really honest about it, they do a really average job of marketing the business. Yeah. So we can sell number 27 Smith Street, no problem. Can we sell our own business? No, and quite often we see real estate professionals resort to, well, I need to do some letterbox drops because I'm out of listings, or I need to run some Facebook ads instead of having a constant flow of branding. Tell us a bit about how you think you can solve that problem.
Yeah, I think something that I've noticed in the real estate industry is consistency is always key. I think it's about consistency across each of those different mediums, right? So obviously having always on social media ads, being top of mind from a Google perspective as well, being present in the community is a really key one. So whether that's at your local football club, some outdoor advertising is always great. So I think it's more about having that consistent approach. One of the things that we would kind of really focus on is having the connect between your content creation and the amplification of that content. So the way I kind of explain it to some of our clients is it's like that one streaming river that flows from all your content creation right through to the amplification and delivery of leads.
Nice. So what you're saying is, if I look at it, most are ad hoc, as we suggested before. What you're saying is you'll make it consistent, you'll make the flow happen, and you look after designing a strategy that's achievable and that you can tweak on the way if required.
100%. So every strategy needs to be fluid, right? So when you're looking at those different tactical approaches, you really want to make sure that when you can see success from one, you kind of focus your efforts into that corner, right? And that can be different in many different areas too, right? So one area might have a really strong social focus, and then another might be, you're finding lots of success from Google. But I think it's about having all of those pieces to the pie, essentially, and not wavering from doing all of them. So there's kind of 5 or 6 things off the top of my head for a real estate agent. Number 1 would be social ads. Number 2 would be Google. Number 3 would be, some outdoor advertising, community piece, obviously having a really great website and producing good content. And then the last one for me is newsletters. So making sure that you've got an EDM going out once or twice a month to ensure that you're staying in front of your audience.
And so all critical things, but if I'm a business owner, I'm sitting back saying, I've got to arrange billboards, I've got to arrange Google ads, I've got to run Facebook ads, I've got to run a website, I've got to do content. It's probably overwhelming for me because I just want to sell houses as well. So what you're saying is you'll package that together, it's whatever the fee is, and you own it. You work with the business owner to make sure it happens, you report on it.
Yep.
That's a nice service.
Yeah, so we look after all of those different things. So we've got relationships with outdoor advertisers. We're a Facebook partner, we're a Google partner. So we've got that real breadth of service.
Jake, one of the things that really fascinates me about our profession is that so many of our practitioners whinge and moan and groan about Big Red. That costs so much and it's outrageous. But if I look at it, and I'm not here to bash Big Red, realestate.com, or to bash real estate agents, but I continually hear real estate agents moan and groan about the prices. Yet when I go to the real estate agents' websites, I look at latest news and it's something from 2022, about the Easter parade in 2022. So in terms of content, most business owners do themselves no favours with content on their own website. And of course, if content is the game, then you'll help people to do that so that they become less reliant on Big Red for their business.
Yeah, and I think those pieces around what's happening in the community on your website are great, right? Like, people want to see that you're in the community, you're supporting the community. But I think there's another side of that on your website as well, is where you're providing a lot more value. So it's about coaching them through particular stages of selling your house or buying a house, and all those different pieces to the puzzle, rather than having some outdated piece of content on there about the Easter parade as your example.
So an overall content strategy for the website, not just let's do something. It's fascinating. I used to go into a lot of offices and I'd say, what's your digital media strategy? 90% of your business comes from online. You'd have a really good business or digital media strategy, and they'd say, yeah, it's what the girl out the front does when she's finished her real work. And it's such an embarrassment that people would say that, because if 90% of your business comes from online, you'd probably want to have a pretty serious content or digital media strategy.
100%, and I think that's a real hole in the market for a lot of real estate agents, is being able to take advantage of that, right? We know that the top 20% or top 10% of agents are doing it. So if you want to get into that realm, you need to be in that space, right? So I really agree with you that it's not just an afterthought anymore. Like, it's 2025. If you're not online, you're nowhere.
So give us a couple of tips. You've worked with some of Queensland's leading real estate brands. You've made them super powerful online. You've generated millions of dollars worth of commissions. Give us 3 secrets, 3 tips anyway, you think that they put in place that gives them that edge. Because everyone sits back and goes, why are they special? Well, why are they special?
I think it's about providing value, like I just mentioned. It's putting out consistent content. So consistency is key again. Like, they're consistent, they don't waver from, I'll do it this month, next month, let's turn it off. They're super consistent in everything that they do. They're in the community, so their community knows who they are, right? So you walk down the street, you probably know a lot of the people that are local businesses, community organizations, all those kinds of bits and pieces. And the third one, I think, is the quality of your content. So it's all well and fine to put up another sold sticker on your socials, but what value does that provide to your audience? That's really a bit of a pat on your own back, right? Mm-hmm. It's like, oh, look at this, I've sold another property. Well, great, look, I appreciate your results, but what does that mean to me, and how can that improve what I'm trying to do with my property journey? So true,
so true. We sometimes forget about the customer, don't we? Yeah. Another street record, another suburb record, yeah. So I look at those things, and we talked about this earlier on. So this is, having a proper strategy brings more buyers and sellers to the door, which we all want. It brands the business a whole lot more professionally. But the missing piece, and you touched on this when we were chatting before, is it starts to create a magnet for other people to come and work in your business. It's a recruitment or a retention tool that people are sitting back outside going, hey, they're doing something pretty good. They might be generating some stock. It might be a good place to be. They're a modern, contemporary business. So that's the missing piece that most don't understand, isn't it? That recruitment piece. Do you want to touch on any of that?
Yeah, sure. I mean, if you're present and people see you everywhere they go, your brand is going to build and build and build and build. So it's a funny thing. When we look at, I guess, performance marketing and brand marketing, they're 2 different things, right? Performance marketing is always going to go up and down, up and down, up and down, depending on the flow of your performance. But brand marketing will go up and up and up and up. As you build your brand, you're always going to be a magnet for more business, whether that's recruitment, whether that's vendors getting in touch with you because they know who you are, they see you everywhere. So yeah, that's 100% part of our strategy, is not to just focus on the performance side, is also do brand at the same time.
You said something to me the other day that I thought was brilliant. You said that in businesses, 50% of the marketing works. We just don't know which 50%. How are you going to solve that for people?
Sure, I think it's about testing and learning, right? I think I mentioned to you earlier as well, it's leaning into the things that do really do work, but not neglecting the other 50% of things either. So it's about remaining consistent in everything, because that builds brand, but also leaning into the performance aspect of, hey, this is really working. We need to focus in on this. Let's throw, 50, 60% of our budget into this one tactical approach, and then still have those other things humming along, but we can get some really good quick wins here. And to be honest, it's always changing too, right? So it's about doing that, but not relying on it, and having those other things still ticking along so that you can have that breadth of your marketing.
So the time's never been more important than to have a professional in the wings tweaking those buttons for you. Because if you're a business owner trying to do it yourself, it's probably going to be a challenge. You've worked with some of Queensland's leading brands, you've done the job. I'm really excited for you for what you're doing with OBLIQ. I know you're going to do good stuff. If people want to contact you, what do they do?
Look, just head to our website, it's obliq.au, nice and simple, OBLIQ. Yeah, just get in touch. We'll start with the conversation and we go from there.
Mate, I know you'll ace it. Congratulations.